Hello, Steve Mills here. It's great to be back on my podcast, on the Results Podcast, sharing with you some more tried, tested and proven ways to grow your business. And today, I'm literally turning the tables on someone who's become a really good friend of mine over many, many years. His name is Steve Hyland. He's from Business Connections Live, and Steve's interviewed me. I dread to think now, it must be about 7 or 8 times, I think, something like that. I've been on his show, and he's a great entertainer. He's a great interviewer, and a huge amount of experience in dealing with media and video and radio and speaking and all that sort of stuff. So without further ado, welcome, Steve. Thank you ever so much for your time, and really looking forward to our conversation today.
Well, I'm looking forward to it as well. As you said, it is a bit of turning the tables on the interviewer, I think.
Indeed.
It's going to be great fun today, and I'm really looking forward to it, Steve.
Good stuff. So just to kick off, do you want to tell everybody a little bit more about you and your background and a little bit about Business Connections Live and the service that you offer?
Well, if we start with the present day, what we do, we offer large and small businesses video production, creativity, agency kind of support. So people looking for anything from producing a podcast all the way through to maybe a positioning video or even a corporate video, even corporate events, then they can talk to us and we'll organise that for you. Over the past couple of years, we've been doing numerous corporate videos that kind of the high level stuff.
Okay.
So which has been really good. We've also been doing international conferences as well, where we'll go out, we'll organise the conference for a client, we'll build the stands, we'll then video it, we then produce all the support video material that they need during the conference. So we've been doing that. But on the other side of the coin, for small individual businesses, for the one-man bands, we've also been producing compelling content for them as well. So it's a broad cross-section of material that we produce. So that you know where our background is. I think the trouble with a lot of production companies is that it's a lot of people who are techie. They're either cameramen or they've been a producer for maybe a news channel or something like that. My background is around about 15 years full-time in commercial radio, 10 years doing a breakfast program, a breakfast show, Pop-a-Doodle-Doo, which was, it was top of the ratings. We did all of that. A number of other stations around the UK, some in London, some on the South Coast as well, worked for them. And then another 15 years, kind of overlapping in the middle of being in front of the camera and working in shopping television. And I think what's relevant about that is shopping television is what all these videos that we see online really are all about. Yeah. They're all about positioning a product and of getting your message out there. And that's exactly what shopping TV does. If you look at the likes of QVC, where I started actually 1,000 years ago, the average length of a sale on that is either 4 minutes, 8 minutes, or 12 minutes. And in that time, they're they're positioning a product, they're telling you what's great about it, and then they're inviting you to buy it. And I think it's bringing those skills that I learned from direct response TV, it's bringing those skills into everything that I do when it comes to either podcast production or if it comes to video production. And it's those skills that I think are inherently lost in a lot of videos. A lot of videos take a long time to get to the point. And it's interesting, Steve, because statistically, what they're saying at the moment is that most people will turn off within the first 30 seconds of watching the video.
Yeah.
That's about 30% will turn off.
Yeah.
Half the audience are gone by a minute. Yet there are still people out there who are producing videos and they won't tell you the purpose of the video, at least for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. They're teasing you to the end. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to play to the algorithms of YouTube and Google. That's what they're playing to. But in fact, for the audience, it's a big switch off. So what we try to do is educate people. It was once said to me that if you were selling a product, if I was selling this pair of glasses, the very introduction would be, we are selling these glasses. If you already know you want them, give me a call right now. and order yours straight away.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't made your mind up, I tell you what, let me tell you a bit more about them. And that's the trick that a lot of people
do. You know, I totally and utterly agree, Steve. I see that all the time. It's not just in videos, it's in marketing. You know, you got like a long form sales letter on an email or on a web page, and you've got the call to action right down at the bottom where the least number of people actually go. You know, why don't you have that further up the page, or in this case on the video? I totally and utterly agree.
And it is a worry, I think, because the way we see people making money from the likes of the YouTube, I mean, you've got to have a huge audience. You've got to be getting a huge number to be making any money. And let's be serious about this. The people that are making money from being YouTubers aren't just in the minority. They're in the minority of the minority.
Yes,
It's like there's very few people in reality, really, when you look at the amount of content that's being posted every day, that is actually making money. So I suppose what we should be aiming for is that we at least tickle a few of the people who are our ideal clients.
Yes.
And if we can just get our product, our brand, whatever it is, our ethos in front of them, even for a few seconds, at least it puts us somewhere on the shopping list. As I said to you, the number of videos that I watch, or the number of online videos, where it takes a long while for them to get to the point, I think it's a problem.
Yes.
So I think that's a really important consideration when you are looking at your video production, and the same applies to podcasts.
Yeah.
One of my pet peeves, actually, while we're talking about it, not that we are, but one of my pet peeves is repeating the jingles.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Steve Mills podcast. Hi, hello, this is Steve Mills with my podcast. We know you just...
We know,
We know. So, just get
on with it. Yeah. Why is it, Steve, that, I mean, both of us are massive fans of video. I often say to people, the future of marketing, the future of marketing is video. It's only gonna, skyrocket. The other day, I was on this fantastic website called Live Internet Stats, and it actually shows you in live time what's actually happening online. And that particular day, there were 5 billion YouTube views, and it's just like, just ridiculous. It's off the charts. So why does it work so well?
Because it engages, and I think that's the thing that's important. It engages the audience if it's working properly. I think the reality is that there is a lot of rubbish out there.
Yeah.
And don't be kidding yourself that you can practice on air. I mean, I once heard somebody say, well, what you do is you go on and you do your first video, then you can practice initially on screen, and if it's not very good, the next one will be better. The hardest audience to get back is a delinquent audience. If they've already visited your website and they've already watched you, or they're watching your video, if they make up their mind at that moment that what you are doing and what you are saying is amateurish or rubbish, the chances are they will never, ever come back again. In radio, if you have a delinquent listener, it is more expensive to get that listener back listening to you again than it is to get a new listener. So It seems to me that there's a very high churn rate when we're doing this. So if you put a video up on air, people will make up their mind. If Steve Mills produces a video and it's a sales video, but when people watch it, they think it's not very good or it's rubbish. Why would they come back again in the future?
I agree.
So so really what we've got to do is we've really got to plan. We've got to sit down and decide. Now, content is the first thing we've got to decide on. Let's decide on our content. What are we going to say? How quickly are we going to say it? Remembering the 30-second rule. So we've got content. Then we have the structure of what we're doing. So the structure, the layout, the proposition, the resolution, our call to action. We've got all those things. And then we've got the delivery. Are you going to be engaging on screen? Are you going to be sitting at the bottom of the screen? All these subliminal messages. For instance, if you look at the way that both of us are framed in the picture today, we're high in the frame, we're using what they call in the trade the magic thirds. So a third down from the top is your eye level, third up from the bottom, a third in from the side, all the little things. But these are all subliminal messages that we should all be using in our videos, and we don't. I mean, the actual lessons in video production and what we should be doing when we're recording videos for our sales videos, we should learn in things like what we're doing now, this podcast, this Zoom call.
Yes.
How many times do you see people who are presenting to other people in the group that are doing this?
Yeah.
That isn't engaging. I've actually got 2 auto cues here.
Okay.
And today there's no messages on them. There's no words.
No.
What's on my auto cues today is you.
Yes.
So when I'm looking at you now. And
right.
That engagement, I think, which is really important.
Yeah. I agree. And I know that the videos that I've done. I really am prolific on video, really. I worked it out the other day, and I think I've got something like 650-ish videos on YouTube now. And you're right, Steve. Some of them are, from a video purist like yourself. Some of them I'd say are pretty rubbish. The quality of the microphone, the lighting wasn't right, the background was poor. I like to think that I've always managed to, in a way, survive that sort of mediocrity or poor quality by actually delivering good content.
It is content.
Yes.
Structure, delivery.
Yes.
So the most important thing is content.
Yes.
So decide what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Make certain it's not somebody else's.
Yeah.
Or if it's going to be somebody else's, at least acknowledge them.
I agree.
Spin on it.
Yeah.
Put your own spin on it.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about what you're saying? But content is the starting place.
Yes.
Content, and the other thing as well that so many people get wrong, and it's because they're following other people. It's sheep following sheep. Is the way they talk to the audience. I have never ever talked to hello QVC viewers. I've never talked to viewers.
Right.
I've always talked to you.
Okay.
Because right now I am talking to you. I'm talking to your listener.
Yeah.
I'm talking in their ear. I'm whispering sweet nothings to them. And it's very interesting because the American linguistically, they have a very different way of approaching this. If you listen to American radio or you watch American television, they refer to people as folks. They refer to a group. You out there as a group.
Okay.
People. Whereas here in the UK, we refer to you. How are you today? Not hello, folks. How are you?
Right.
And if you watch many of the videos that are on YouTube, hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. YouTube is just a vehicle to get your message out there.
Right. Yeah.
Why don't you just talk to...
YouTube's not watching.
Yeah. I'm not a YouTube. I'm me.
Yeah.
So, be aware of who you're talking to.
Yeah.
With the content that you're creating. And I think that will make a huge difference. I feel like I keep cutting you off. I'm on my high horse here.
No. Well, your passion's coming over, Steve. And I appreciate that. So, I'm going to say here that there's like a couple of ways of doing videos. There's literally what you're doing in a way. You're in a professional studio. You've got the green screen background. You've got your top quality microphone and lighting and all that sort of stuff. Then there's me, and I've done a little bit. I'm getting my lighting sorted and things like that. I've got the microphone that you recommended. I think I buy, so my sound is better. I'm improving. I've got the background. I think looking at least reasonable, if not not to your level certainly. And then you get other people who I suppose are down from me, aren't they? You know, they're sort of doing videos and there's the washing in the background and they're in a scruffy old t-shirt and there's no light in, their face is all dark and they got the sun coming in the window and stuff like that. What is your sort of perception about, I don't know, taking video? You mentioned a few minutes ago about the importance of the video, being almost the way people will judge you based on your video. So, in an ideal world, I think, people like me are just always come into a studio like you've got and record that video. That is without a doubt the best way of doing it. But for some people, they can't do that. What's your perception of when do they need to come into the studio, and when is it okay to do what I'd call a more amateur type video, albeit in as professional a manner as you can, a little bit like I do? Does that make sense?
It kind of, it makes sense, I understand what you're saying. I think there's room for all those kind of different videos.
Yes.
Because with the background that you have, this background, what we're projecting here is a professional broadcast outfit.
Sure.
That small to medium scale enterprises, small businesses can come in and utilise and benefit from. So if you're listening to this at the moment, let me describe what we've got here at the moment. So this is a 5-camera studio. It uses virtual sets. Each camera has a different perspective of that virtual set, so we can make you look like you're in a network studio. It's properly lit. We can stream live from here. It uses a thing called a TriCaster, but not only have we got a TriCaster, we've got the NewTek TriCaster, we've got AutoCue as well, prompters, we've got those, multiple microphone channels and earpieces. That's the main part of the studio. And then over to my right, there's a sound booth if you want to do some nice voiceovers for your videos. But we've got another table over there that we put microphones on for people who want to produce podcasts. And what we can do with that, we can sit them in front of the green screen so they get the best of both worlds. They can have an audio podcast, but they can also have a green screen-based podcast. But is that important and is it necessary is the question. I think some of your videos should look top-notch.
Yes,
absolutely
top-notch. I agree.
And some of your videos can capture the urgency and the excitement. In the trade, it would be called the actuality. We're going out to get some actuality. It's the bloke in the street.
Yeah.
The real life footage.
Yeah.
And I think some video, there is space for videos like that within your mix of videos.
Yeah.
As long as you keep coming back to that fundamental, that it doesn't matter what the video looks like, it's the content. Why are you doing the video? Why am I watching the video? What's in it for the viewer?
Absolutely.
So, and we'll go back to it again. There are 2 adages that I use. There is, there's content, structure, delivery, which is our overriding rules within our business. Content, structure, delivery, and then within the structure, it's proposition, resolution, call to action.
Right. Okay.
And a lot of people forget all about that.
Yeah.
And as I said, going back to where I started, 10, 15 minutes ago, before I started ranting, there is an issue, because what we're playing towards these days, I think, are the algorithms. Everybody asks me when they come on Business Connections Live to be interviewed, how many people watch? Well, is that an important statistic? It is if you're a YouTuber, because the number of views you get drives the advertising revenue that you're going to get, and that's where the money's going to be made. That actually should have no bearing on most people, because you're not going on YouTube to deliver a video to make money. You're going on YouTube because it's a reliable platform that will deliver your video wherever you want it to be delivered in the appropriate format. So that's why we're actually really on YouTube. So, we mustn't play them towards the algorithms. I'd be happy if 4 people were watching. I'd be happy if Boris Johnson watched, Alan Sugar watched, and Jeff Bezos watched.
Yeah.
Would that interest you if 3 people watched it, but it was those 3 people?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, you would.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it only takes 3 or 4 or 5 key people to watch any video for it to change your life. In the same way as when you're on LinkedIn, you can have thousands of connections, but it might be that one connection
that is so
that
true.
makes you the £500,000 deal.
Yeah, that is absolutely 100% true, isn't it? And yet most people focus, so much time and effort on, getting it out there, and I'm guilty of that as well. But ultimately, if one person watches it and they phone up and buy from me, I'm much happier with that than I am 1,000 people watching it and nobody buying from me. Ultimately, what is it about? Why have we produced the video? That was something you said a few minutes ago, and really that, ultimately for me anyway, it's about creating sales. Even if it's not a sales video, if it's an information, I'm talking about marketing and so on and so forth.
But
So
ultimately, isn't everything you produce about sales? I mean, there is the old expression, marketing is everything and everything is marketing.
Yeah.
But marketing is of no significance if there are no sales driven by it.
Absolutely.
What your marketing is doing is bringing the horse to water.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I think, in the same way as they're frightened of doing cold calls, they're frightened to ask for they're frightened to ask for the money. And I think the interesting thing working in shopping TV, I mean, honestly, you would sit in the studio and you do 8 minutes on a product, and you are continuously closing every 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Isn't that the old thing? Always be closing, ABC.
Always
ABC,
be closing.
Always be closing.
Yeah.
And you were all the time on a shopping channel, and you were measured straight away.
Yes.
See, it's all very well producing all of this. When I worked in radio, when I worked in TV shopping, if your ratings were bad on the radio, if you lost listeners, you were fired.
Yes.
Each week on the shopping TV channel, we would sit down and the sales director would stand up and go, right, here are the presenters who have made the most money this week. Well, you didn't want to be the bottom of that list.
No, absolutely not.
And that's the way we should be feeling about what we're producing, where we're producing videos. Make it, content. Do people want to hear this content? Absolutely they do. Make it, get to the point quickly. Tell them what they're going to hear. Because if you're still rattling on for 2 minutes before you get to the point, we've already said 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, 30% are gone, 50% gone by a minute. If you haven't got to the point by the minute, then you're missing out. And this isn't about keeping videos short.
No.
This is about telling them up front what they're going to get out of it.
Yes.
Teasing forward.
So what are your thoughts about that? How long videos? I've done videos that are, Business Connections Live. We've been on there for an hour. So longer videos are fine, but what you're saying is you got to very quickly, explain what is the purpose. Why would this person benefit from listening to this stuff?
Yeah. And I'm sure there are going to be people that disagree with me, and that's fine. Yeah. They can be wrong if they want to be, but it is really, really important that we get to the point quickly and we tell people what they're going to hear.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't think that people that are making videos are getting it wrong. There are broadcasters who get it wrong. It's very strange. You listen to radio stations. Take, for instance, a breakfast show or something like that.
Yeah.
It's very common to hear a presenter who will come on at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he will do the shopping list of what's on his show. On the show today, I've got 3 oldies from so-and-so. I've got this, that, and the other at 8:50. As if people are going to be tuning in at the beginning.
Yeah.
And be there
at the end.
10 o'clock at the end. When in fact what is happening is every 10 minutes, somebody is joining it, listening for 10 minutes, and then leaving it.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I was doing radio, what we would do, you could move content around your clocks. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes, 90 minutes, 100 minutes, 200 minutes, 300 minutes, 400 minutes, 500 minutes, 600 minutes, 700 minutes, 800 minutes, 900 minutes, 1000 minutes, 2000 minutes, 3000 minutes, 4000 minutes, 5000 minutes, 6000 minutes, 7000 minutes, 8000 minutes, 9000 minutes, 100 minutes, 200 minutes, 300 minutes, 400 minutes, 500 minutes, 600 minutes, 700 minutes, 800 minutes, 900 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 13 minutes, 14 minutes, 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, 18 minutes, 19 minutes, 20 minutes, 21 minutes, 22 minutes, 23 minutes, 24 minutes, 25 minutes, 26 minutes, 27 minutes
Yes.
Well, be careful how you say that, but if you follow, if you know what I mean.
I do.
So you could use a piece of content in the first hour,
Yeah.
and then on the Tuesday use it in the last hour.
Do you know what, Steve? That's really interesting because since the start of the lockdown, I've been working from home initially all the time, and over the last sort of 3 or 4 months, I'm about 3 days a week from home. So I'm watching, GMTV and so on and so forth. And, so I start work at like 6:30 in the morning. And it got so that it just started to drive me mad because they repeat the same thing again and again right throughout the show until 9 o'clock, because exactly as you said, people are coming and going. They're not like me. They're not sat there for 2.5 hours listening to it. So I always listen to Cheers now on Channel 4.
But one of the things I used to do, and a lot of presenters do it, you'd be halfway through a sale, you'd be talking about the glasses, and you would say, if you're just joining us right now, it's a great excuse actually. If you're just joining us right now, I'm looking at these particular glasses. Just let me give you a quick summary of what we're talking about.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And to a certain extent, we can do that on a live stream program.
Yeah.
Maybe on a podcast, it isn't quite so essential to do that.
Yeah.
But there's real opportunities. Teasing forward is the other one.
Okay.
And teasing forward in a way that isn't so blatantly obvious. There's the old expression. I can either say I'm going to tell you about fate coming up in a few moments' time.
Right.
Or I can say to you, in just a few moments' time, I'm going to tell you where you will be able to get the most succulent hamburgers.
Yeah.
You'll be able to have rides that will thrill you. It's all happening this weekend. I'll tell you where in a moment. It's a different way of teasing forward. What we're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of people do that on webinars, don't they? They say, don't make sure you stay to the end of the webinar because I've got this fantastic offer for you. I'm going to give you something that's worth over £1,000, and that'll be at the end. So blah blah blah. So they're trying to hook people in.
That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
If they're that good, why don't they just say at the beginning? I'll tell you what I'm going to do at the end of the webinar. I'm going to give you £1,000, and I'm going to tell you this secret, this secret, this secret, and one of the secrets is this.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't interest you because there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be talking about. Because what they're saying is the bit before the end is not actually really worth listening to.
No.
So stay to the end because there's the bribe. But the bit that you're listening to right now is of no interest to you. Because it's not worth listening to, but please stay to the end to get the bribe.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about content, surely they want to be sitting there listening to the content because it's of value to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's just hot air, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
I once did an experiment, and it's the way the algorithms work. It's all about whether people will watch 3/4 of your video and all of this. And I know that you've used similar algorithms in the past to research how people have watched your videos.
Yeah.
So if I was to say to you, I'm going to give you 3 secrets. This is my clickbait. I'm going to give you the 3 secrets that you need to know to live longer.
Okay.
Would that interest you?
Yeah.
With it? Yeah, 3 secrets. So there you go. So that's the clickbait. That could be a short video.
Yeah.
It could be in a web page. I take you to the video, and the clock starts running. So you get me coming up, and I go, hi. So you're here to find out the 3 secrets that will help you live longer. That's really exciting. Are you ready to find out what they are? Run a sting, a little visual jingle or whatever, and then you come out and you go, okay, here we go. Here are the 3 secrets that you need to live longer. So far, this video has now lasted 15 seconds and I've told you nothing.
No.
But I've still got you on the edge of your seats.
Yeah.
And then I say to you, so the 3 secrets are, secret number 1, breathe in. Secret number 2, breathe out. Secret number 3, repeat. That will help you live longer. Now, the analytics will look at that, and if people get as far as you going, breathe in, and they go, what a load of rubbish. The video lasts 30 seconds. So
I've wasted my...
They've watched 2/3 of your videos.
Yeah.
So what does YouTube do?
Yeah,
That's
it
a
rates it
popular video.
highly.
Yeah. I'll recommend that on
Yeah,
other people.
it's crackers, isn't it?
And then what you get is you'll get people writing in the comments saying, "This is rubbish."
Yeah.
What does YouTube do? It goes engagement.
Yeah.
Let's rate that even higher.
Yeah, so we need to produce really rubbish videos. Is that the message?
Videos. But will they watch your next video?
Yeah, well, no, clearly not.
And that's where you've got to be careful. So content, structure, delivery, proposition, resolution, call to action.
Fantastic.
It's marketing and it's sales.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic. So we've just about come to the end of the interview, Steve. Yeah, no, I really appreciate your enthusiasm and your ideas. Really, really valuable. If people want to know about you and how you can help them, which, by the way, I strongly recommend, if you're going to do videos seriously, you need to engage with Steve and his team. I did, as well as interviewing me, I've learnt so much. I picked up so many tips. I'm still not there, still not brilliant at it, but I am enthusiastic at it, a little bit like Steve is. But he's much more of a polished performer, I'd say. But anyway, Steve, would you like to tell people how they get hold of you, please, if you would?
If you'd like to get hold of us, it's dead easy to do that. You can give us a call. First of all, drop us an email to studio@businessconnectionslive.com. Or you can give us a call on 01784 256 777. And what we are doing at the moment, because we understand, particularly here in the UK, we're coming out of lockdown. It looks like maybe the light at the end of the tunnel isn't a train coming in the other direction. Maybe things are, maybe a smile on our faces. Maybe we can start to slowly get back to normal. If you are a small business, if you're living around the West London area, Surrey, Sussex area, what we're doing is to help small businesses. We are doing days where we invite small businesses to come in. There is a small production fee to help you produce a video for your business. And what we'll do is we can do it in whatever format you want. We've got some suggestions. You can either do it straight down the lens where you're reading auto cue if you want to do that. We'll do the 5-question interview with you. We will then put your appropriate animated graphics at the beginning and the end of the video with contact details. And we'll turn that around quickly so that you can start marketing now to get your business out there so you can grab an edge on your competitors that may be in similar markets as you are at the moment. Now, if that is something of interest to you, and you fancy coming into the studio and we'll help you produce this and to get these videos done, then please do get in touch with us. The cost is a small production fee for these. That we're talking about 1 to 2 minute videos in this particular case. It's £350 to come in. So I'm making no bones about it. That's how much it is, because not only are you in the studio, but you're getting editing in there, you're getting animated graphics, you're going to get a little bit of library music. It's going to look the real business. We'll put you in a virtual set. If it needs reinforcement of basic graphics, we'll do that for you. But what we're looking to do is to do 4 of these in a day, 350 quid. If that's something that is of interest to you, and we're only God, this sounds like all the internet marketers in the world, doesn't it? But we're only doing it for a limited time, and we've only got a number of limited spaces. While stock's last,
first come, first served.
Yeah, first come, first served. If you're not in the queue now, then just forget about it. Studio@businessconnectionslive.com or 01784 256 777, the telephone number. Give us a call. If it's something that even tickles your fancy a bit and you'd like to find out more, give me a call. Quite willing to talk to you about it. And let's see if we can make you look great on screen so that when you show your family the video about your business, you will be brimming with pride about the way you look, about what you say, and the results that you will get. And it'll be a perfect tool to use maybe in Facebook advertising and things like that. So if it's of interest, give us a call.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much, Steve. And thank you for attending and being here today. If you want to know more from me, go to steve-mills.com and I'd be happy to run a free meeting with you, providing you with some advice and tips and ways in which you can grow your business. So that's about it for now. Thank you ever so much and look forward to speaking to you again on my next podcast. Thank you.